As a child, when scary thoughts prevented me from sleeping, I always imagined a maiden ghost appearing suddenly. On camping nights with friends, gathered around to share scary stories, we all thought of the same image of female ghosts. Maiden ghosts, wearing traditional white attire with long hair, pale skin, dripping blood, and they make spine-chilling wailing sounds. It is a cliché tale of a woman who transforms into a ghost and appears to humans after facing an unfortunate death. The protagonists of the horror videos I grew up watching were always young women. This is a shared cultural code among all Koreans when thinking about ghosts. Culture constantly reproduces people's perceptions, reflecting the society's diverse desires and fears. In horror genre, when fear is central, I found this cycle to hold interesting significance. So, why does the feminine ghost image dominate our perception in South Korea? What is the origin of the standardized concept of maiden ghost? I decided to explore the stories of these women. How did these images make you feel? Disgusted? Scared? Insulted? The unease you experience with these images is referred to as abjection. Abjection is a rejecting response to things that challenge the boundaries of what is normal and acceptable. It is an emotion that seeks to distance oneself by positing the object as degraded. This concept is introduced by Julia Kristeva, a philosopher, and is pivotal in analyzing horror. Barbara Creed, a feminist film theorist, ventured into a female-centric analysis of horror films through the lens of abjection. The abject poses a threat to our understanding of reality. Its core lies in the demarcation between the normal and the abnormal. In simpler terms, female ghosts induce fear because they fall into the abnormal category. I considered applying this theory to the context of South Korea. So, what are the distinctive features that render Korean maiden ghost abnormal? The concept of ghosts in Korea includes an understanding of space. The sky is the domain of gods. The earth is the domain of living humans. The ghosts are wanderers expelled from reality and unable to settle in the afterlife. The emotion that makes them wander, unable to belong anywhere, is called han. Yes, han is their identity and the reason they become ghosts. Han is an emotion that cannot be translated into another language. It is a feeling of misery and helplessness in an unbearable situation. As long as there is Han, the soul cannot ascend. It is the result of an abnormal death, essentially making it the abjection of Korean ghosts. So, what happened to the maiden ghost? Who is she? First, we can guess by her appearance. Now, let's delve into the basic cliché of the maiden ghost story. 1. A young unmarried woman meets an unjust death. 2. She becomes a ghost, wandering until she seeks a brave man to voice her unjust story. 3. The brave man appears and solves the maiden ghost's unjust story. 4. The maiden ghost resolves her han and disappears from the world. The origin of this cliché is traced back to the genre of 필기아담, a type of fiction book during the Joseon era. The most widely known story is the Arang's tale. Arang, a woman who, in a moment of crisis, resists sexual assault from a man named Jugi, but tragically loses her life. After her death, she becomes a ghost and appears to the magistrates seeking revenge for her behalf. 필기아담 is a compilation of folk tales bound together in short story format, resulting in frequent repetition and variations of the same stories. Arang is sometimes portrayed as a nobleman's daughter raised by a nanny, and at other times depicted as a kisang. Regardless, all these women face death in crisis situations involving sexual violence. Living women couldn't reach the magistrates. Crime victims were isolated, only able to voice their plight after death. In Joseon, an unmarried woman losing her chastity equated to losing the value of her life. Maiden Ghosts couldn't seek justice without a magistrate. The nobleman who avenged them gained more power. Why? Because those who could write Maiden Ghost stories on paper were influential men. Her sorrow became entertainment for noblemen. Through Chesa, which is Korean ancestral rites, spirits can avoid becoming ghosts. However, to receive these rituals, one must not die prematurely, have a family that performs the rituals annually, and ideally, pass away peacefully without sudden incidents. The system of old Korea stipulates men are sky, they possess their families. Women are just earth, live trapped within their families. As a result, men can become ancestral gods. But what about women expelled even from the position of the earth? They become evil spirits. Maiden Ghosts became synonymous with horror because they were considered evil spirits. However, what made them evil were the oppressive society. Those women could not resist without becoming monsters. Women who resisted were treated as monstrous. They were abnormal beings in the oppressive social norms. They are beings embodied with sorrow. They are entities that scream the life of a woman, burdened with Han, gaining a voice only beyond death. I genuinely believe that stories unfold beyond the records kept by noblemen. The lives of maiden ghosts are not meant to be exploited and fulfilled as mere entertainment. The freedom gained beyond death is bound to be frightening and undoubtedly potent. Julia Kristeva explained that becoming abject is closer to disrupting saneness, systems, and orders rather than being inappropriate or unhealthy. Maiden ghosts belong neither to the sky nor the earth. They cannot become gods. Nevertheless, they remain transcendent beings, crossing the threshold to the magistrates to seek retribution. What truly makes maiden ghosts fearsome may be the transcendence that allows them to cross the threshold of power. Through this, they expose the injustice of their lives as evidence, accusing the absurdity of the society. Han is the reason that renders them wretched and simultaneously empowers them with a new force. They possess the power to fracture a society. Their existence is synonymous with upheaval. So, what will she do next with her Han?